Hey guys, how are ya? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. Buddy's lying on the chaise lounge over there. He's looking at me like, could you stop talking? I'm trying to take a nap. Thanks. Eleanor is down below. She's made a little nest for herself out of white tissue paper. And I have made a little nest for myself. I'm surrounded by some fantastic finds from Goodwills, thrift stores, and things like that. I love a good thrifting video. That's all I really watch on YouTube these days is thrifting videos. But sometimes I don't want to get my virtual steps in by walking around a store for an hour with another YouTuber. Sometimes I just want to see what you buy. What sort of treasures did you find on those shelves today? I watch a lot of Thrifting Vegas. Tiffany, I love her. Dana the Niche Lady. I watch George the Antique Nomad, the Crazy Lamp Lady, Cat the Nurse Slipper, and Sunny Las Vegas, and Mikey Bags of Money. Those are like the big ones that I watch in terms of thrifting. Many of those folks are actually here in Las Vegas, of all places. But yeah, so this video is going to be just that. I'm just going to show you what I bought at these stores and tell you why I bought them, maybe how much I spent, maybe what I'm anticipating to get when I list them, or if I list them on eBay. So first off, I did stop at the post office and mail out 3 things that sold on eBay. So I'm putting this money towards these purchases. That's kind of how I thought about it today. So I sold a vintage Rolls-Royce dealer necktie. I paid $1.50 for that. I sold it for $25. I sold a Hallmark Christmas ornament, a flower fairy Christmas ornament, apparently collectible, for $25. I paid $2 for that. And I paid $4 or $5 for these set of 4 Jonathan Adler dishes. They're bowls, actually. Orange rims with little white circles on those. It looked more like an Hermes pattern than it did a Jonathan Adler pattern, but I asked for more. I was offered 30. I was just happy to get rid of them, so I was happy to send them off today. So I made 80 bucks. My overhead there was $8.50, minus the whatever eBay takes. But in general, just in a general idea, I'd like to earn $7 to $10 per dollar I spend. That's my goal. $7 to $10. So I usually do that, if not better. So what happened today, I did not intend on thrifting, but I'm so glad I did. I found some amazing things. 2 things, 3 things, 4 things that made me super excited. First, Tiffany, I was watching one of her videos, thrifting video. She mentioned that Hearts Alive, a local thrift shop, is going out of business, and everything in the store was half price. And I was like, whoa, really? Zoom, zoom, gotta go. And I found one thing there. It was this. It's a paperweight, but you'll see that how that lens is kind of shaped in there. I don't know what that is or why. It's not an ashtray, but maybe you're supposed to put something in there. I don't know. But it is, I believe, a scene from Russia. I really can't tell. Does anyone recognize those buildings or this style at all? But I think it's Russian, and I think it's fantastic. It's gorgeous. No chips. Everything around it is perfect. I paid $3 for it. I'm definitely going to list this on eBay, but I want to wait until I find out like what those buildings are. Where is that scene? I think it's Russia. Just a guess. So that's what I got at Hearts Alive. Then I went over to Savers. Now I typically avoid Savers because it's usually a bunch of crap and it's overpriced and it's just a waste of my time. Unless it's Monday, everything is half price on Monday. I go there and I find some things once in a while. One day I'll show you this Pendleton coat. It's delicious. I paid $35 for it at Savers on Monday. It was gorgeous. I'll show you it sometime. So I walked into a Savers today for the first time in a long time, and I found this item. Look, if anyone recognizes it, it's Wedgwood. It's a Wedgwood Queensware console bowl or centerpiece bowl, probably more like. That's probably what that is. But it's a fantastic oblong piece. No crazing at all. Perfectly clean. These pieces, if you're not familiar with Wedgwood, these lavender blue pieces are all applied. They're all hand applied to the form and then fired and then glazed. So it's all actually applied. That's not actually molded. So when I was growing up, of course, there's a story about everything. When I was growing up, we were poor, 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 poor. My mother sometimes couldn't afford food. So we would eat like Cheerios with no milk. That was how broke we were sometimes. We ate a lot of scrambled eggs. They weren't as expensive as eggs are right now. We ate, she had a hard time feeding us sometimes. She always had money for booze and pot for some reason, but food was a tricky one. But when I was growing up, we were so poor. I had no idea that things like Wedgwood existed. It would take me years and years to learn that Wedgwood existed. I come from people who were not very worldly. Let's just say that. They're more Jerry Springer. But then when I finally found pieces of Wedgwood, I thought, oh, that's so fancy. That's so luxurious. And then to realize, it's not. It's really not. There are much more expensive, luxurious pieces out there. But this piece I got for $7.49. $7.49. I can probably get $60 to $70 for that, which is kind of a lot of money for Wedgwood on eBay. It just does not bring the money I think it may have used to bring, but it's such a pretty piece. It's not my style. I'm not going to keep it. But I thought that was pretty fantastic to find at Savers of all things. There was also a taller, slim, torch-shaped vase in the same finish. It was perfect, but there was a hole on the bottom. I think that someone was going to make a vase out of it, a lamp out of it. So they had a hole in the bottom. No sense in buying a vase if there's a hole in it. I'll show you this in a sec. This is something else I bought at Savers. Look at this, so exciting. It's a Lacoste tote bag from the 60s, I believe. I think this bag is as old as me, if not older. It's a Lacoste. It's dark, dark, dark blue. It's like a dark blue. There's a vent here and here because it's a wet pocket in the inside. But it is fantastic. There's a zipper part up here. And this is like a whole pocket. The whole front is a pocket. The back is a shoe bag. And the inside is in flawless condition. It's flawless. It's flawless. There's a wet pocket here. I believe this is from the 60s. There's one or two of these listed on eBay in horrible condition for $60. They show an open part, like they show the inside, and it's grotesque. So this is fantastic. There is a strap. It's kind of ugly. The finish here, the pieces here are all leather, and it's all in fantastic condition. No cracking, no wearing. I can't see that it was even really used. There are little locks on here by the company who made this, a company called Lark. I don't have the keys, so those may have to stay on there unless I can cut them off. But I thought this was fantastic. It's gorgeous, a gorgeous vintage Lacoste tote. Now, I don't travel much. I'm a flight attendant, and I never travel. Doesn't he look creepy? I never really travel. I just want to stay home with my things and my cats. But if I do travel, that is going to be a bag I take with me. And then I'll sell it on eBay eventually. So I found those two things at Savers. And then I found two more things that I loved. I have wanted to wear a hat. I love hats. I just don't have a good looking head. I don't look good in hats. I never have. But I found two hats that I thought, hey, these are kind of cute. I don't look horrible in them. This is a black one. It's called a company called Scala, from a company Dorfman Pacific, who made both of these hats. I bought two hats. This is a black hat. It's sort of a fedora. And I think it's cute. I would have worn this easily in the 60s. I'm not in the 60s, the 80s. I would totally have worn this. Now this with a blazer would be really fantastic. I think it's a great little hat. It's hard to see in this light. But I love it. It was $7. It's all wool. It's a wool hat. And with a head like mine, a good match. And then I got this one. This one's navy. It may look, it's by the same company, Dorfman Pacific, out of Stockton, California. I don't know anything about the company or the hats they made, but it is 100% wool. And what do you think? I like it. It's not a cowboy hat. No, I don't want to wear a cowboy hat because I just think that would be so contrived and it wouldn't be believable. A cowboy hat and then I open my mouth and I sound like this, it just would be a joke. But I thought this was fantastic. Isn't it a great hat? It's navy and it's fantastic. It was $7. $7. And it's a gorgeous hat. It's a gorgeous hat. And I think it looks good on me. Not with this outfit, but I think this is a hat that would turn me from a 5 to an 8. Do you agree? So I am very happy about those hats. Totally unexpected finds at Savers. Because again, Savers is usually not a big success. Oh, I found this at Savers too. This is by a company called Bodum. Bodum, I've always saw as coffee accessories, things like that. It's brand new. It's never been used. Do you know what this is? It's a nutcracker. It's a cast iron piece with this screw. And you unscrew it, you place the nut inside this well, and you hold it like this, and you crack the nut, and all the shells and the nut meats and things like that would stay inside this little cup. And it's never been used. It's just never been used. The box has seen better days, but I had to buy it. It was more than I would like to spend on an item that probably won't make $20. It was $6, $5.49. And it probably won't bring me $20, $25 at most, but it was so novel I couldn't not buy it. So those are one of the things I bought at Savers today. Then I hit a Goodwill. I hit 3 Goodwills today. I know that sounds like a lot of work, but I love it. It just makes me happy. I just love browsing around, touching things and searching for things. Thursdays are usually not hot here in Las Vegas because I think it's a day off for a lot of the people who do the stocking and things like that. But I found a ton of stuff. This is a Costa Boda candle holder. It almost looks like an iceberg pine cone kind of thing. I love it. Now it's a solo, it's a single. I could potentially wait for a second to find another one. That does happen sometimes. But it's a Costa Boda candle holder. I love this. I paid $2 for this. I could probably get $20, $25 for that. Costa Boda is a pretty popular name when it comes to reselling. So I could probably get that. This I got at Goodwill. It is a little sailboat. I know the things in this video are going to be so spread over every genre you could possibly think of. But this is like a piece of 70s decor. You can see that the fishing line was used to make the sail, and it's sort of a roughly hewn sailboat. It's like little pieces of wood. And I just thought it was so novel and so just sweet. I couldn't let it stay on the shelf, and it was $4. And I don't know how old it is. It's probably from the 70s, but oh, what, buddy? What? I'm ignoring you. Well, let me give Buddy some love. One sec. Oh, honey. What? You want to say hi to your friends? No? Okay. Goodbye. All right, what was I showing you? Onward and upward. We have a lot of things to look at. So this is a candlestick holder, another candlestick holder. This one's by a company called Heisey, I believe. And I think they're out of Ohio. I think this is Heisey. I paid $6, which is more money than I really wanted to spend on this, but I couldn't let it go. I could not leave this on the shelf. There might be a mate to this floating around Las Vegas that might show up eventually in a store. I hope to find it. A pair of these can give me a lot of money. I know that there's one listed for well over $100 for a pair. A solo, I could probably get $35, $40, maybe $50 for it, which is okay with my minimum profit that I want to make, but I just couldn't leave that on the shelf. All right, so that is from Goodwill. This is from Goodwill. This is a massive piece of Polish pottery. Now, this is very collectible, more collectible than I imagined. It is a beautifully vitrified piece of pottery, and it's gorgeous. If you and you can see it's perfect. There's no scratching. No one's used a beater or anything inside there. It's in flawless condition. And Polish pottery is very, very collectible. I paid $5.99. I think I could probably get $50 for this. I don't think I was being too ambitious when I bought it. I did not research this piece before I bought it. I probably should have, but I really do think I can get a good amount of money for this piece of Polish pottery, and it's marked beautifully down there. So, and it's massive. It's just huge. It weighs a lot, so shipping is going to be a beast on that. But that was at Goodwill. This was at Goodwill. If this video is not too long, I want to show you, give you a glance at the pieces of pottery I have above me on a shelf. I collect. It's turned into a collection because I have become sort of enamored with it. But there's a company called Hager Pottery that I think closed in 2011. Maybe somewhere around there, and their pieces have become very popular to collect. This is a sort of a Golden Girls color little vase. It's their little drapery vase right there, very pretty. This I paid more money than I really should have for a piece this small, which is I paid $10. Right now, there's probably a half dozen of these pieces exactly in this color on eBay for like $35. So I could probably sell this for a fair amount of money. It is going to go into what I feel will become a collection. I don't know what I would do with this whole collection, but I do have some pieces up on top here that I'll show you with a McCoy piece that I'm very happy about. But this I liked a lot, and I love Hager. I just love Hager. There's a Hager cat, no surprise to anybody, a lounging, reclining cat that is probably about 14 inches that I'm watching on eBay. It's going to cost me like $60 or more, but I just love this cat. So I'm thinking about it. No one's going to buy it. It'll be me eventually if someone buys it. But I bought this mug at about 2 mugs. This one, I picked this up, and it just looks like wood, which is called faux bois, fake wood in French. Faux bois. Thank you, Martha Stewart, for teaching me that. But I noticed it said treasure craft on the bottom. And I turned around, and it says Mom. How cute is this? It's like a little wooden faux bois mug. It's perfect inside. And I love that it says Mom on the front there. While I detested my own mother, I think that other people love their mothers. And someone will find a pleasure in buying this from me. It was 69 cents. I could easily get 15 for this. So I will be happy to list that on eBay. This is a mug I bought myself. It's a handmade mug. I don't buy every handmade mug because I don't use that many mugs, but this I could not resist. It's a really beautifully thrown mug with this great handle, which is the tail of a cat. Is anyone surprised? No. But how well done is that? I mean, this is such a beautiful handle. The mug is hand thrown. It's wheel thrown. It's not cast. You can see it's been trimmed here. And it's such a good mug. And I forgot how much. Oh, this was $3. It was $3. Right? Come on. Someone made that. This I bought. It is by, is her name Anne-Marie D. I forget what it is. Anne-Marie something or other. Davidson, I think. It's from the 60s. It's a solid copper plate enameled with this cat. Now, it's a Siamese, but it did make me think of Eleanor, especially when I first got Eleanor. If you look at it for a video where I went through, I showed videos and photographs of Claire in memory of her passing last year. And when she was brand new, when I first got her in the house, that's what she looked like. And this is in enamel on copper from the 60s. And I thought that was fantastic. I paid $10 for that, which was a lot of money for that little plate, but I could not leave it on the shelf. All right, what else have I shown? All right, this has got to be the strangest thing. Clogs. They're wooden clogs, and they've been worn. You can see there's stones trapped in there. You can see these have been worn considerably by someone my size. They're size 12s. I know because I've put them on and walked around. They fit me perfectly. So I have big feet. I have giant feet. And look at these. Look at these. So they're clearly original to somewhere in, I don't know. But they're literally, people walked around in these shoes. These were worn, these were real shoes. They have holes drilled in the sides. So I'm eventually going to put a cord through there and hang them up as a piece of artwork or wall art somehow. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put that, but I could not let these sit on the shelf. How could you possibly let things like this sit on a shelf? So I had to take those. I recently fell in love with a whole design style called Maximalism. Now, we've all heard of minimalism, right? Maximalism is a thing. And I struggled because in my house, I wanted my place to be minimal because that always seemed aspirational. Minimalism, Scandinavian, mid-century, very simple, very pure. And that was just not my language. My language, my native tongue is chaos. And I watched the videos about maximalism and I almost cried. It gave me permission to put anything I want up. It's my place. I own this place. So it gave me permission to put art everywhere and to have things that spark joy everywhere. Versus that whole, what's that woman's name? That's like, oh, don't own it if it doesn't spark joy. So like have a minimal life. Ugh, I couldn't do that. I don't want that life. I want abundance. I want like stuff. When I walk in someone's house, I want to see stuff. And so speaking of stuff, I did not buy this today. I've had this for months and months and months. I'm going to put a spider plant in the top so it looks like she has dreadlocks or something. It's from Opal House. It's from Target. But they discontinued these. I think I paid $4 for this one. Today, I found this one. I found a little darker skin one, like a little Latino versus the white guy. And this one, I paid $10. I paid $9.50 for this at Savers. I forgot I bought this at Savers. But they're brand new. They've never been used. And I love the coloring on these two. So I'm going to have these. Maybe I'll put these in either end of the mantle. I'm not quite sure. But I'm going to put spider plants in those. I just think they're fantastic. I had this one listed on eBay, but no one was buying it. So maybe I'll list these on eBay, see if someone's going to buy them. And if they don't, I'll put spider plants in them. So I got that beige one today. What else do I want to show you? That. All right. These. Let me show you these. This is also one of those things. Do I want to keep this? Do I want to sell them? Do I want to keep them as decorative objects in my kitchen? But they are copper pans that, if you can see, they have never been used. I don't think anyone's ever used these in the kitchen. This one was $8, and it's a brass handle, but it's vintage-esque, I would say, because the handles, the brass eventually starts to oxidize and it starts to age, and you can tell that it's been around for a long time. The copper has clearly been varnished or something. So if you're going to use this in the kitchen, you actually have to burn that varnish off or get rid of it somehow before you start cooking. But I got this one. It was $8. And then I left the store and I went to another store on Sahara, and I put a whole bunch of stuff on the counter, and I was buying those things. I walked out thinking that was cheaper than I thought it was going to be. Now, what I really should do is go into Goodwill tomorrow and say, hey, you gave me some things, I didn't pay for them. That's what I should do, and I should probably do that. Because I walked out with a bag full of stuff, and it didn't cost me as much as I thought it should, because I had these two. These are different ones. This one was $8. It's a different manufacturer. This was by Copperl made in Portugal. And then this larger one, which is probably an 8-inch, maybe a 10-inch skillet. This was 13. And it is by a company called ODI, also made in Portugal. Now, this size, if I were to sell it on eBay, would probably get me, it's like pristine. Look. On eBay, this would probably get me $45 or $50, maybe $30, $35 for these. But I might want to keep these in the kitchen and kind of just hang them as like decorative objects. But I need to really, what I really need to do is to gather my sense of morals and walk into that Goodwill and say, hey, there were 2 things that you did not charge me for, because they didn't charge me for those 2 things. So that's what I have to do. And oh yes, one thing, 2 more things I have to show you that I got. First off, these are the 2 best things I got. These are my 2 favorite things. These are the most 2 exciting things that I got today. Now, I spent a lot of money today. This. Does anyone know Roseville pottery? Are you familiar with Roseville pottery? This is a piece of Roseville. Perfect. No crazing, no chipping, in perfect condition. Back when this was made in 1928, there was a paper label. There was a sticker. Later on down the road, they would put Roseville on the bottom of their pot. Roseville, I think, USA. But this piece is in perfect condition. There was one spot that is a glaze defect that's actually manufactured in there. That's part of the piece's DNA. This piece on eBay, there's 2 of these listed on eBay. I think they're like 140 a piece. They have sold for over $200, $250. The larger pieces sell for maybe $400 or $500. There's actually a pedestal that matches and that's like $1,200. But this is an amazing piece of artwork. It's gorgeous. It's real, true. It is real Roseville. There are a lot of Chinese copies out there. Do you want to guess how much I paid for this? $2. I giggled like a madman. $2. $2 a piece of Roseville. This is something I would like to list on eBay and sell because I'd like a couple $100, but it looks so beautiful on my mantle underneath a watercolor. I'll try and take a photograph of it and show you why I love this, and particularly where I have it in my house. But that was $2. So super exciting. The last thing I bought today was this. You can kind of see it creeping up there. Do you remember the butterfly? Well, this thing, hold on one sec, let me show you. This piece, I bought this at an antique mall, at the Antique Mall of America. And it was $85. It is maple leaves cut out of sheets of copper, and it was $85. It was $85. I had been dreaming of this piece. I have been dreaming of a large copper decorative piece, like big sailboats or seagulls, or there's a forest version. This is by a company called Curtis Gere, or C. Gere. It was 2 brothers, Curtis and Jerry, and they did a whole bunch of stuff in the 70s, the 80s. I think Jerry died in the early 2000s, I think, but that piece that I just showed you, I paid $85 for it. I really didn't, because I'll tell you why in a minute. It was $85, and right now, that same piece, in worse condition than mine, is listed for $400 and something. There are other pieces listed for $300 and change. I paid $85 for that. Not that it matters, because that's going nowhere. This is a piece that I will live with until I don't want it anymore. I love it, and it's fantastic. And, oh, I forgot the boots. I'll tell you about the boots in a moment. But while I was at the antique mall buying that, I have 2 things I didn't show you. I'm all over the place. I bought that, and I bought this mug at the antique mall. It's a beautiful, beautiful mug. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? This was 10 bucks. How did one of the cat toys get in it? I have no idea. My total was like $110. At work, we get a gift card. It's like a debit card, a prepaid debit card, where we get our commission for all the snacks and beverages we sell on the aircraft. And that little bit of a, 3 cents, 5 cents adds up. And I just, on a whim, decided I would try that debit card or that credit card to pay for my leaves and my mug, and it went through. So those pieces, the mug and that amazing piece of artwork, were free to me. So I didn't pay at all. And I made that $80 from my selling those 3 things today. So I really think it paid for most of what I showed you today. How fantastic is that? But this is one thing I'm going to add to this list. I did not buy them today. I bought them last week or week before, but I forgot to show them, and I was kind of excited about them. They're a pair of cowboy boots that they're not my size, though. They're size 14s. They're by Dan Post, and I think they're rather sexy. It's ostrich with leather on top, and look at the stitching on that. They are gorgeous, and they are brand new. Look, they may have been worn on the carpet. Look, has never been worn outside of carpet. I paid $39.99. I paid up for these. They're size 14s. I want to meet this guy because he has good taste and, well, what they say about big boots, big feet. But I bought those. They were $40 after seeing that they were sold very, very easily for well over $200. So I figured, you know what? I'm not going to have a problem spending $40 if I can make additional $160 off that as a sale. So that's going to be a bit of an experiment and seeing if it's worth dropping that much money for an item to sell. But those am I missing anything? I think that's all I have to show you. Those are the things I bought today at Goodwill, Savers, and at the Hearts Alive thrift shop. What was your favorite thing? Do you think I made a mistake in buying any of these things? I have to tell you, if I had to say my favorite thing, it would be the piece of artwork, or the Roseville pot, which is utterly, utterly delicious. So let me put this up there on the mantle, and I'll show you why I think this is so perfect. I'm probably still gonna, I should probably list this and sell it. I don't know. Hold on. So this is my mantle right now. I have to repot these, my peperomia and my spider plant. I have to repot those. But almost little head. I just think that this Roseville pot works so well below this watercolor painting that I have up here. Again, that was thrifted. That's from Goodwill. I think I may have spent $12 on that, but it's this beautiful hand-painted watercolor under matte glass. You can see it's kind of matte there, but I just think that's so pretty on the mantle with this photograph. And here's my little road runner. I love this little guy. But so that's where it lives right now. Who knows? I might list it to sell it. Well, you can see that I'm definitely leaning towards the maximalist side in terms of home design. But way up there, you'll see that big shelf. It's, for some reason, a part of my wall. I've got that maroon piece right there, that one. The lavender one here, and that giant blue one. You can't see the texture on the side of that. It's got these sort of Art Deco swirls on the side. It's just very dark up there. But those 3 pieces are by Hager, and I seem to be building a collection. The urn on the right and that lavender piece right here are a normal size. They're actually quite large. They're called floor vases. But this piece right there has got to be 20 inches, 22 inches, maybe larger in diameter. It's huge. The people at the thrift store where I bought it thought it was a garbage can because it's so big. But it's a piece of Hager. I've never seen a piece like it anywhere on the internet. So I was just dazzled to find it. That peach piece right there with the sort of the beak almost, you can see that little form on the front. That is by a company called McCoy, and I've never seen such a large piece of McCoy. Really, really fantastic. So I really like how they look up there on that shelf with the rest of my stuff. Oh, I love my little love prints up there too. I got those a while ago. But yeah, that's what my house is looking like right now. I'm pretty happy. Ugh, I just love looking in the background at my little autumn leaves and my little spray hope painting here. My teak wood sculpture there, my little bit of Roseville under my. I just love my things. I'm loving my home right now. But thank you for joining me on this little journey into my finds, my thrifting finds. I had almost as much fun talking to you about them than I did actually finding them. Almost. It's more fun finding than it is talking. Huh. Even for me. But thank you very much for joining me, and I will talk to you later. Fly safe. Bye.